place because I am up here for my daughter's birthday and was not able to do this normally, but I figure what we'll do is get a good 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A out of the way and get our lineups built and go from there. Mostly, I'll tell you real quickly that the priority plays for cash and tournaments, I'm really not going to fade these guys much on FanDuel. Cam Johnson, Cole Anthony, Devin Booker, Kyle Kuzma. I also do like Westbrook quite a bit, as I mentioned earlier, and I I like getting exposure to that Houston Orlando game basically every way I can. But we're going to treat this like a Q&A. So hop on in, say what's up, ask your questions. Not the most ideal situation that we're dealing with right here, but we're making the best of it as best we can. So anyway, that's where we're at. But yeah, those are my priorities on FanDuel, on DraftKings. I'm going to update my settings real quick because I had to. There's obviously some pieces of news that got in there. And so people are going to ask, I do think that the OKC value is interesting tonight, but just remember that Shea was out before, and all these guys were playing, and honestly, I don't know how much better they've been priced up as if Shea was out already, and Giddy, as active as he is not as active as Shea is. It doesn't dominate the ball quite as much. So let's get into it. And I'm sure we're going to get a bunch of Ish Smith questions. Um, I can get behind it. It's not my absolute single favorite thing to do, but I definitely can get behind it, and I'm definitely going to have some, but I probably will be below the field on that one. Anyway, guys, hop on in, ask the questions. We're going to do Q&A. What's up, guys? Yeah, sorry, I'm in the middle of a Starbucks, so I'm going to talk a little bit quieter than usual. It's not the ideal situation, but we're doing what we can here. So we're going to do a Q&A for like 10 more minutes or 15 minutes because I guarantee you they're going to kick me out of here at some point for doing this. And the fact that in California I don't even have a mask on is probably going to upset some people. So anyway, let's get it going. Popping into your questions and your thoughts. And 1v1, 2v2, 5v5, whatever you guys want. I'm here to answer anything. So just let me know. And with that said, let's get into it. So I mentioned the priority plays on FanDuel, on DraftKings. I do think like guys like Ish and all of it. I still love Zubac. I still love the Clippers in the later game. I still think there's probably always going to be later news in these days. Devin Booker is the one like must play for me on DraftKings. But even that you could go without. Gary Trent. Basically every Raptor is strongly in play on both sides. Every Magic is strongly in play on both sides. And then I want to mix that in with the Orlando and with the Laker and Clipper game. That's the way I'm treating this slate. And yeah, that's not all that complicated, but it depends on who you use and finding the funny value piece here and there, and that's what you're going to do. So DeJounte Murray, I just don't like him nearly as much as the other spend-ups. Of course, he's great and he always has feeling, but I just like the other spend-ups better, to be honest. He's a good play, as always. The guy who I'm using from that game more would be Vassell. I just prefer Luka and LeBron to DeJounte today on this particular slate. Orlando guys on FanDuel. To rank them, for me, it would be Cole Anthony 1, Mo Bamba 2, maybe Wagner 2, Mo Bamba 3, Carter 4. They're all like basically the same after that. I'm not using any more than another one. So those are the 4 that I'm using. And then Suggs would be the last one for me, but I don't think he's a bad play at all either. It's just that's the way I've got it. All right, let's see. Salary left on FanDuel to pay up, making it interesting. You're saying for DeJounte. If you have it, go ahead and do it. I have no problem with it. I just don't. He's just not. It's not the way I'm building. So I didn't get to him personally because I'm not going dumpster diving as much as I feel like the field is today. So that's the reason why I don't have him as much. But I sort of have a general. It's Booker. It's a mix of the Orlando-Houston game and then the Lakers and Clippers. It's not a really very complicated slate the way that I'm playing it, but I certainly understand if you want to go a different direction. One other, there's going to be those Houston guys are cheap on FanDuel as well, and I do really like all the Toronto guys as well, in addition to those the guys I mentioned as being my cores. I'm going to play a little bit of Anthony Edwards tonight. I'm just going to keep riding some of these guys when I have a lineup that looks too chalky with some of the stuff. I'll throw in an Anthony Edwards on a slate like this or something like that because the ceiling is there. We know the floor even shouldn't be that bad for its price on FanDuel, especially. But that's sort of my way of trying to get different. And again, I'm sorry for being in a public place. We try to do this and make sure to be there every day. My daughter's 16th birthday, so it's a little tricky. I do like Kuzma on DK, but it's definitely not a priority. To be honest, I'm not really getting to him. But I think the upside is there for him to be totally viable. So I think it's fine. I think Eric Gordon is okay on FanDuel. I would rather play him on King. But I would like to see an the starting lineup for sure. I believe that he is going to be, he's really going to be low owned on both. I think he is legitimately in play on FanDuel, but I think I prefer Jalen Green on FanDuel at the same price where there's a big difference on DK. So I'd rather play Jalen Green than Eric Gordon over there. Yeah, please hit the like button as Rose is mentioning over there. Green, I just answered. Oh, there you go. All right, answer the last question. I don't know. I'm thinking the second half of the season, you're going to see more of these rookies taking over, and I want to be ahead of that trend. But in the individual plays, you'd think that Gordon should be projected to outscore, but he's really not. And I'm just a little bit concerned that as the season wears on for guys like that who are buyout candidates, I know they like him, but it's kind of hard to know exactly what they're going to do. And I am curious to see if the Rockets do just roll out the first half of the season starting lineup, or if they mix it up tonight. You might see Schroeder in there, you might see Gordon out, you might see Sengun in there for the double bigs that they play in Orlando. So just keep an eye out for that starting lineup. I think we can know more once we see that. It should happen really soon. Hey, thanks a lot, man, for the congrats to my daughter. 16 is kind of crazy to have a 16-year-old daughter, but wild. Cole Anthony or Jalen Suggs for DK. I like Cole Anthony a little bit better, but I think they're both really good plays. So I don't have a really strong take on that one. I personally have more Cole Anthony, but again, I think that you can go either way, and they're both completely viable. I just like the upside for Cole Anthony in a game that could get kind of shootouty. I just think he could explode, and that's why I'm going with him. So anyway. But most of my lineups on FanDuel are pretty much the same as earlier on when I built them. I think I changed a little bit, played a little Cameron Johnson, threw in a little more Scotty Barnes, and I would be okay with, although I didn't get to it much myself, playing Fred VanVleet there. I really like it, like you were saying. But keep popping in questions if there's any thoughts or anything. I know a lot of people still like the crunch time from RG, and I think that they do a great job as well. And today I'm a little bit, not in my best form because I'm on the road here in the crowded restaurant. I'm trying to make this work. But yeah, keep firing in on any questions, and I'll let you know exactly what I'm doing. Because another guy who I'm coming up with some of on FanDuel is Bogdanovich, which feels a little weird, but I'm doing it. By the way, Shea is a reasonable play tonight, but Shea is, in my opinion, going to be kind of drastically over-owned at my current projection level. Like, he basically has to get 50. If you're going to be like 60+% owned, he could very well just go completely nuts here tonight, but I'm going to just fade it. I'm totally okay with having to fade a little bit of a shock. I also think there's a chance Indiana blows him out of the building second back-to-back and whatnot. He still can get there, but I still like that. Ron and Wesley together or no? No, I would not play them together. On FanDuel, I think it's like if you're stacking a game fully, I think it's okay. I definitely wouldn't do it on DraftKings, but I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's like terrible. It's just not what I would do. I'm looking at some of these other projection, highly projected guys on DK, guys like, Ish and Lonnie Walker and Kennard. I'm kind of siding with Kennard over those guys, but a lot of that has to do even with game start time and maybe mixing in a little Dwight Howard. I don't know how much they're really going to play Howard, but I am open to seeing what opens up later. And it's not going to come necessarily in the form of a player sitting out. It's more likely going to come in the form of what the starting lineup is in most of these cases. And I'm ready for teams to start changing things up a little bit in the second half of the year. I think you're going to see some of that. So that's part of the reason why I'm choosing the later guys. And I also like them just about the same anyway. Embiid or Luka, it's Luka for sure for me. You're going to get much lower ownership of Embiid, so if you feel like your lineup is too chalky, you can throw in some Embiid instead of Luka. But I just personally like Luka much better, and I like LeBron at his discounted price on DraftKings better. On FanDuel, I think Luka's the better play, and I would play Westbrook on FanDuel. But again, it's pretty much the same as what I felt earlier. I'm looking to see if there's anything else on FanDuel that I'm missing. Um, it's just everybody feels so underpriced on FanDuel. It's like funny. So just remember that everyone else is thinking the same thing. But I do like the Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter. I really like that Orlando game, and I really want to focus on that in general. Running back, whether it's Gordon, Green, or Christian Wood, and that's the way I would run it. My computer's asking me to do all kinds of stuff here, and I'm just getting charged. I'm going to make sure that my DraftKings lineup makes sense, which for some reason is not working on my computer, which happens to me every now and then. But in the meantime, guys, keep firing on in any questions, and we'll get them answered for you. I don't even want to change my original lineup one bit on DraftKings, to be honest with you. It would take a weird like starting lineup to make me want to do anything different. Um, the guys who I'm getting a lot of, like the Alec Burks, the Devin Vassell. I really don't have anything new on DraftKings. Like I think the lineup that I posted in my original lineups is the lineup that I'm rolling with at the moment, and don't really see that changing drastically unless we get different starting lineups out. So even though there's been activity and there's things happening today, and of course Shea looks like a great play, I'm not going to just respond to that ownership. And if it beats me tonight, so it beats me tonight. But I think that there's a lot of paths for him to even get 45, and even if he gets 50, it's not like there's other guys who aren't going to get 50 on these kind of slates that are even cheaper. Like you have Shea is a better play than Kuzma. Don't get me wrong, but you get Kuzma at 2% ownership, and Shea is going to be what 50 or 60. I especially considering the blowout factor, I kind of like the idea of playing some Kuzma. When you look at it like that, even though I don't love the individual play, I'm avoiding Shea because of that. I think the Batate thing is okay. I would not go with it. I think they're using other bigs a lot, so that's fine. Carmelo is viable, but again, I like every other play better than him at the same price, basically. Whether that be Alec Burks, whether it be Trey Mann, he's okay. Some other guys cheaper. Just make sure I didn't miss something over here on San Antonio's side. I like Vassell better than him. All these guys I just like better. So that's the reason why I'm not playing any Melo tonight. Again, he could always shoot his way into a game. It's not like there's no like logical, real narrative thing to do with Melo in this kind of a game. It's just, can he make 6 threes? Yeah. Can he have 8 fantasy points? Yeah. It's just taking a wild card play, and there's just better plays in that price tier. So I would go the other way. I just think the Bamba thing is, look, I don't think this is by any means like a lock or something you need to do, but I do think that this is the kind of matchup that he could absolutely smash in, especially on FanDuel with the block speed upside. That's my argument for it. I'm not probably going to change anything with that. I do have Bamba in my 2 big buy-in lineups on FanDuel, which feels a little funny, but I like it, and I'm mixed in Anthony Edwards in one of them to get a little off, not off the board, but just a little bit lower. I have a Bogdanovich in one. These are not like way off the board guys. They're just guys who are showing up for me as being lower owned than I feel that they should be. So that's the way I'm siding with it. And really, again, the Toronto, I just think it's very simple. The Toronto, Orlando, Houston, Toronto, Lakers, Clippers. That's what I'm doing, and then I'm just mixing in pieces. I understand everybody who wants to get into the OKC stuff, and that's fine. Just remember, they've got a lot of bodies. They could go a lot of different directions. Maybe you want to mix in a Wiggins for value or something, or Trey Mann on DraftKings where he's cheaper. Poku on DraftKings where he's a little cheaper, but still kind of expensive. But I just am not going to do the Shea at 1,000,000%. I guess that big fade we'll see how that works. No interest in Montrez for me. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just didn't find any time that I really needed to play him because of my other preferences. It's not like he needs to. What is this? Maybe 6,700 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, let's see real quick. See if I can get behind this price. Sorry, I've got all my numbers up, but it's juggling between things on the road, so it's a little tricky. And they're also in different places. All right. I do think on DraftKings he's in play. Yeah, I actually think that on Montrez on DraftKings is a solid play, but I am not personally doing it. So I agree with it, but I'm not. You can't play everybody. You like Robert Covington? That's fine. He fits into all those Clippers guys for me. And I'm okay with anybody you're playing in the late games because you're going to have switchability. And I would try to get more and more of those guys if possible. Just the way that I would approach the slate. Looks like there was just some other news that came in, just making sure it's nothing that's too significant. I don't see anything. Rockets are starting Porter, Green, Gordon, Tate, and Wood. So now I do feel good with Gordon. I think you could just easily play Gordon or Green on FanDuel. I'm personally playing Green, but I think Gordon is just as good of a play, basically. But you also have the small forward eligibility of Cam Johnson, and I'm using guys like Edward. Like, just remember, get your positions right. You know what I mean? Like, you've got guys who are shooting guard, small forward, use them at small forward, which is why I didn't end up needing to use Jalen Green as much because I did the reverse and I used Anthony Edwards and Cam Johnson rather than Anthony Edwards and Jalen Green. And again, I just want exposure to these guys, these young guys with the massive upsides when people are sort of overlooking them on these kinds of slates. I'm going to get out of here in like 2 minutes. So let me know if there's anything else you guys have thoughts on, or we're going to just let it run and hope that we get it going tonight. That we get started off on the right foot. We should have Sheets back Monday. I'll be here. We'll be in depth on everything. We'll probably starting this show a little bit earlier, and then Sheets will take you guys through the end. I'll start it off, and I think that's the way we're going to run it going forward. Also making a lot of changes to the site, which I think you guys are really going to love. Probably, I would say second week of March. It'll be maybe it's the end of first week of March. It's going to be really, really cool. Anyway, guys, if there's nothing else, I'm going to get out of here because this is kind of an awkward situation. But let me know if there's anything. I'll give you guys a minute to catch up. And if not, let's crush it tonight. I'll be in Discord as much as I can be. Make sure to try to tag at me so I can answer you. I'll get more notifications that way. I'll continue checking. But again, I'll be with my daughter for her birthday. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. I had to sneak away to come do this. But that's sort of my overall thoughts on the slate. So remember to hit the like button. And thank you, Evan. I've got my little green juice here. And yeah, good luck to everybody. I didn't even know Evan. I thought Evan was on vacation too. I thought this was everybody's like end of their vacation week. But we'll be back full force next week. And by the way, if you guys haven't had a chance to check out the Around the Industry tab on our site, I mean, I talked about this before, but Evan created something pretty incredible where you could type anybody's name in. It'll take you to the exact part of the YouTube video that anybody else is talking about that guy or that play or that game or that team or whatever. It's a really, really cool tool that I'll go through with you guys again, but I'm not going to be able to do it right now. But it's something to definitely check out. Great work by Evan on that stuff. So anyway, good luck to everybody tonight. We appreciate you all and watching us grow. And we're actually just finished with the bank and confirming our LLC and getting our account set up and everything. And good things are happening. So let's make some money tonight. And good luck, everybody.